Welcome as I get ready to begin the 9 a.m. turn on this Battle of Marengo. Let's give a quick rundown of what's been happening and then I'll get back to the action. So, the Austrians have continued to attack towards Marengo while their left wing has moved up to the top of the picture there and have captured Castile Cirillo before the French have been able to get there to defend it. Come in here and have a closer look at what's been going on. Now near Marengo here, there's been a lot of back and forth. For a while there, the Austrians were holding Pedrobona. Then I decided to actually retreat them from there because there was actually no points for them holding that. And none of their orders said to actually capture it. They were just meant to move up to it. But because they moved off, some of the French troops here turned around and charged into the rear of some Austrian troops here, which you can see have been shaken and pushed back. The actual attack itself onto Marengo has been quite troublesome getting across this bridge or getting across the water here. You can see some troops have done it here. Some Austrians have done it down here. Their leader has been shot. Came has been shot and killed, but that sent the men into a bloodlust, which means next time they have to take a morale check. Instead, they'll roll on the bloodlust table, and either they'll maintain their bloodlust or they'll lose it, but they won't have to take a morale check. So it's sort of like they're angry and inspired, and it stops them from having negative morale effects just for until they lose that, or they stop being next to enemy units, and then they lose that automatically. Over here, O'Reilly has actually captured La Storgliona, but unfortunately in the process has been wrecked. Their cavalry's wrecked and their infantry's wrecked, so this is a wrecked division, which means they can't attack, and I think the French can start pushing them back here. They might even, I don't know, I'll let the 24 light do all that. I can't really afford to send more troops over here. There's too many Austrians still here in the centre and way up here who have been sent new orders, which now they have to accept, which then means they have to roll a die every command phase from now on, and when they roll higher than 4, they'll accept their orders. It's taken 3 turns for the orders to get there, now we've just got to wait for them to accept it. So Ott up here is taking this time, but hopefully he will. What he's been told to do is come down here and attack Marengo from that position while sending the advanced guard out here to capture Villanova. And if they capture that, I might try and send them on and cut off the French avenues of advance where the reinforcements come on. Murray has been using his initiative. He's done it so far successfully to charge any units that have crossed the river. He sent Fremont, the advanced guard centre here, fleeing away. Then he lost all his troops to stragglers and casualties. He's since built up a little bit of a... He's built up some of his troops, got back 2 straggler points, but he's still wrecked, so I'm going to have to spend a few more turns. He's got 1 more straggler point he can get back. Hopefully he can get that back and that'll stop him from being wrecked. It'll put him close to being wrecked though, but again, he might be able to help capture a victory point location, or it's just another troop that the French have to worry about. Over here, the M division, who also have lost their leader, got him killed in combat, also are trying to rebuild these 2 grenadiers through stragglers because they've been a bit smashed through stragglers. E Division's cavalry has been doing some great work charging the French around here. They're sitting back now after having recovered from being blown. Really, I'm not quite sure what to do with the French. There's a lot of Austrians on the map, and they're pushing, though as you can see here, that you have to be careful because the French can still pack a bit of a punch. These guys, they've got a wrecked brigade in there, as well as a OK one. This one's looking a bit troublesome, but it's having trouble getting past the 96th line. Who seem to be holding them as well. But this Bloodlust result, while it's a pain that their officer has been killed, Kane's been killed. So instead of having a 3 rated officer, they've got a 1 rated officer, which means they're not going to get any morale boosts when they're rolling for morale, because it's the officer rating -1 is the actual boost you get. So they're not going to get anything from them. The Bloodlust, as long as they can maintain that Bloodlust, they're really going to avoid having to take any morale rolls, which can be really annoying as a defender when you're trying to force the attacker to take a morale. Hopefully they'll retreat and lose some stragglers. But if they're not having to roll for morale, then you can't really do that. Down here, we've got the leader of this division. He needs to move up a bit to get these guys back into command. We've got cavalry here. This was the cavalry, heavy cavalry that was led historically by Kellerman. They have charged, come back here, recovered, and are probably going to start looking for some more targets to charge, because they are cavalry can do quite a bit of damage if they get infantry out, not into square, which happened up here. The Austrians managed to capture the 101, and they tried to get into square, but they couldn't. They ended up being disorganised, and the cavalry smashed into them, took some heavy losses. They hung around, but it still can be quite dangerous for the infantry. They managed to slip into Pedrobona, which will probably help protect them a bit. Being in protected terrain, the cavalry will have a harder job charging them. So anyway, there's Lanes and his infantry who are heading towards Castel Ceriolo, severely outnumbered. I might try and use his initiative to stop his advance. Set up some sort of defensive line. Try and halt the Austrians, because the Austrians we've got 3 divisions in this wing. Some cavalry, which he hasn't got. Lanes has not got any cavalry. He hasn't got much artillery either, and he's going to be facing quite a force and trying to hold them. Like I said, it's the start of the 9 AM turn. We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turns before Napoleon enters with a consular guard and one of Desailly's divisions. So that's going to be still a little bit of a way to hold out. The other option, of course, is just to pull back. Initiate a retreat and get everyone out of there and try and find a new line to hold and let the Austrians have Marengo, which is what happened historically. They did capture Marengo and the French did fall back, and it took an attack by Desailly to sweep down. So maybe I take a lesson from history, start pulling back, and let the Austrians have this part of the field and move back a bit. It just feels like this river is a good defensive line. There aren't many good defensive lines further back, but there are lots of little protected towns and chateaus and stuff, which may hold up some of the Austrians along the main road here as it heads back to the other side of the map. That might be the best bet I've got at the moment, and then we'll just see what happens from there. Okay, I'll get back to rolling some dice, and I'll fill you in with another update when I've got something to report.